Starting the Junket today, better known as Korra from the Legends of Korra. Give it up, Janet Varney. Woo!
Hi.
Yeah. Grab a microphone. You can take this one if you want.
Thank you.
Any seat.
Hi.
Hello.
Morning.
Again, thanks for telling me how tired I look. First thing in the morning, everybody. Good morning. Hi. What can I tell you? It feels funny to be sitting in a microphone in a small room with not that many people, but I welcome you in to my press junket. And I'm available to take questions. Right now.
So again, I would raise your hand if you have a question, say your name, your institution, as we just discussed earlier. Y'all?
Leo Pond from the Dorkening.
Hi, Leo.
Hello. Love Legend of Korra. How do you feel about them continuing it in comic book form with the news release yesterday?
I had such great news. I'm so excited about it. And other than being at SDCC, which is where the guys were, I had the choice to do either, and I wanted to come back here. But I found out about it here from the fans, which I kind of think is the best way to find out great news about the show. So, I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what they come up with. I just think that Mike and Brian are geniuses, so I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Excellent. Thank you. Amanda Stevens from She Attack.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. A little suffering from poor life choices this weekend, but otherwise good.
You look very tired. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding.
So, how's it feel to do the con circuit?
I really like it. I don't know. I guess there are people who do it. I more hear this anecdotally than see it myself, because I feel like, especially the voiceover actors that I have the pleasure of doing cons with, everybody's here because they want to be here. But doing something like this, if you're not excited about it, if you don't want to do it, if it feels like work, seems totally pointless to me, because that's the opposite of why everyone else is here. And so for me, I wouldn't come out and do it if I didn't think it was an awesome opportunity to, meet the fans and talk about the show, and that's sort of that's the continuation of the experience of doing something I really believe in. And I think that's true for a lot of voiceover actors, is, we record in this kind of a vacuum, right, in this booth, and getting out and getting to see how it affects people and, get feedback and talk about it and stuff is one of the most fun things about those jobs. So I love doing it.
Thanks.
Aiden from Critic Nation.
Aiden, what's up?
Nothing much, how about you?
I'm doing good.
If you weren't picked for Legend of Korra, what would you do? Like, what would you be doing?
Boy, well, I guess I'm real lucky because I get to do a lot of other stuff. I hope I would have gotten other voiceover jobs. I do work in voiceover other than this, but this is, obviously, it was a really big deal, it was a really great opportunity, and I just feel like I got so lucky. So it's hard to say, but if I hadn't gotten Korra, I don't know what else I would have. I do conventions for this other thing, but not to the extent that I do conventions for Korra. So that's probably one of the big differences, is I wouldn't have the same relationship with a fandom as I feel like I'm lucky to have with Korra, with the Korra Nation, I should say. So that's, it's not like it's a thing that prevents me from doing other stuff. So, I'd probably still be doing other jobs, but boy, I'm glad that I don't have to know. Like, in an alternate universe, I feel really sorry for that, Janet. Yeah.
Do I have to say my name again?
No, I think the person. Yeah,
All right, cool. So you mentioned the coronation. Are you on Tumblr at all? Like, have you do you get to see your fandom in like its full functioning form?
Yeah, I don't, and I was talking about this in my panel yesterday. I just don't feel that's my place. I feel that's a place for people to go and be honest about how they feel about the show, and I'm not a lurker, because that feels also weird. So I usually just look at stuff when people send me specific links. Someone will send a link about, you have to see this one video, or like, look at this great page. And these amazing girls put together a whole book of Reddit comments that were Korrasami related, and she sent them to me, and I sent them to Seychelle, Mike, and Brian, and we all loved those books. So that's a really great way for us to kind of see you know, a piece of it without feeling like for me anyway, that I'm kind of diving into that rabbit hole because I don't want to. I'm a very sensitive person and I don't want to like, you know, accidentally stumble on a page that's like, why do we hate Janet? I would just be like, I don't have thick skin, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people, there's just so much negative stuff, and I've been very lucky because I really am not exposed to that side of it. But I just don't want to start. You know what I don't, like we all do. It's like you defend what you care about, and even if it weren't about me, if someone's like, you know, I hate Korrasami or whatever, I just like, I could see myself spending days like writing like a long diatribe that's like, Mikey Ryan was so amazing. I just can't, you know what I mean? I can't. So I'm sort of protecting my time and my heart in a way, but that doesn't mean that I don't love all the positive stuff that's out there, you know?
Yeah, especially with like a show like Legend of Korra that was like kind of quasi-saved by the fan base, because Nickelodeon was like done with it at one point.
Well, they were never done with it. Like it was, I promise you, they were never just going to yank it. You know, they knew that it was 4 books, and they were always going to show 4 books. There was no point. Like we record and animate so far in advance. There's no point to pulling something when all the money's been put into it already. But I think in terms of their figuring out like what platform to use and you know how is the best way to deliver this to the fans, because it's not the same kids who are tuning in to SpongeBob, you know. Yeah. I think that was where things got confusing, and you know Mike and Brian were pretty honest and vocal about how they felt about it and why that was confusing, but yeah, luckily, but I also fully agree, like it's so great to have that fan presence, to have people loyal to the show saying like, we don't make us look for the show, like of course we'll find it, but don't take us for granted that we will. Make it easy and make it accessible and, you know, support it and all that good stuff. So it's amazing to have that, you know, sort of army of awesome people behind us.
Thank you.
Kevin Morrison, moviefiednyc.com.
Hey, Kevin.
Hi. After Avatar: The Last Airbender was like this huge success, when you were picked to be Korra in this new show, how excited / nervous were you?
I was really nervous. Yeah, this is like my first big voiceover job too. It remains my biggest voiceover job, so there's so much on-camera stuff. And I definitely was, I knew the show was going to be great because I knew that, you know, the first series was great, and unless they had lobotomies, there was no way Mike and Brian could go wrong. It turns out they did not have lobotomies. I'm very excited to announce. So that I moved great, but I definitely thought, you know, this is the most public thing I will have done that is already attached to a fan base, you know, which is like, on one hand, potentially so exciting, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, this is already a thing, and I can be joining this community, and wow, wouldn't that be great? And then of course the flip side is, you know, oh no, what if it's just like summarily rejected, and you know, what if people are like, there's 2 things wrong with the Avatar universe, the live action movie and Janet Varney. Like that would have been, that would have disturbed their heart, you know what I mean? So luckily that didn't happen, but that doesn't mean I take that for granted either. I definitely am like, oh, I'm so relieved that's not what happened. Yeah, so good question.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
George Robinson, confreaksandgeeks.com.
Hey, George.
Hi there. How does it feel, well, what was your original reaction when you started seeing other, like maybe your fans cosplaying as Korra?
So great. It was crazy. It was so cool. Yeah, I guess the first con that we went to was the first San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe when we hadn't even, it was like this sort of teaser. I can't remember because I started getting, that's the other awesome thing about the con world, is that before I even knew I would be, I started getting invited to conventions, you know, right after Korra started airing. But I think we went to San Diego like before it premiered. I can't totally remember. Also, they all start running together after a while. Okay. So yeah, so that, but like whenever it was that that it was for sure at a con, it wasn't like someone snapped a picture and sent it to me. It was awesome because it was like in person. And I think maybe the first cosplay we saw was Amon. And it was just, you know, people look so great, like the mask is always rad, and obviously it's like, you don't even see a person to know it's not Amon, you know, because of the mask. So I think we were all just like, whoa, did Nickelodeon plan this? Like, oh wait, no, wait, that's cosplay, what? And then we started to see more people dressed up as our characters for season 1, and it was awesome. And I have in my phone and on Twitter, like so many, I always try to, get pictures with Korra, and especially at the beginning when there would be like a line for autographs with us and there would be like 7 Korras in a row, it would be like, we gotta do like a group portrait. Because it's so exciting and cool to see, especially when people make their own costumes, which is, by and large the case. Just seeing like the detail that goes into it and like the inventive ways that people interpret the costumes, and also Mike and Brian are so cool. Like when they're in the Legend of Korra books, there's like full-on breakdowns of these are the components of the outfits, and this is Korra in the winter, and this is this is obviously book 4 Korra looks completely different than book 1. So that's also really cool too, is to kind of see how the characters evolve. And I love that. That's again one of my favorite things about coming out to the cons themselves, to see that happening.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the last question here. What's your favorite color?
Oh man.
Really simple stuff, but really hard to answer sometimes.
I know it is. It is because, all right. Well, this is late within the last year. This is what my favorite color has been, but I feel that it has to be delivered in this exact way. So that's what my favorite color is.
Janet, what's your favorite color?
Fuchsia.
Expect to see that on YouTube a little bit. So everybody, what else you got going on today? Do you have, did you have a question?
Yes, I did.
Real quick.
Yes, I do look very tired. I mean, I'm totally teasing you. I'm totally teasing you.
How did it feel to be the 8th wonder of the world? I just wanted to.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's just a responsibility I cannot take. I will be in the Grand Canyon if you need me. I'll be in the lodging on the Colorado River. I am from Arizona, everyone. Today I have 2 signings with a break in between. So I think it's like 10 to 11:30, and then like 12 to 1:30 or something like that, or 1:30 to 2:30.
In the exhibit hall, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. So everybody give it up. Janet Varney.
Awesome. Thank you.
We're going to take about 2 minutes, and then we're going to come back, okay?
Who's next?
Yeah.